Hi, welcome to the Restoration Couple. Here's a quick video to show you how for less than £20 we created all these exposed timbers on the ceiling of our loft conversion. So when we mentioned we were going to go this route, we had mixed feedback from people who were suggesting either go along with the idea or perhaps just get everything skimmed like normal. But this was a way for us to save some crucial funds on the project and also get a bit of character back into these rooms. So everything started with standard 3x2 or 63mm by 35mm timber, which is CLS, simple, cheap and really easy to find. It is kiln dried, but it's not joinery timber, so it is well worth bringing it into the house just to let it adjust a little bit. Another thing to bear in mind is CLS timber has all the corners eased or rounded over, so we wanted to make sure that the back was nice and flat so it would sit flush against the ceiling and give the impression that this rafter or truss carries on all the way through. So two ways to do that. We tried the planer, but it was pretty heavy going really because you need to take about 3mm off. So in the end we did it on a table saw, so cutting a thin veneer off, and that just gave us that nice flat surface to work on. So then the next thing to do was to start giving these some character. Now, ordinarily they're fairly smooth and planed. I did weed through the ones in the shop, and going against what you normally do, I ended up picking out any that had obvious saw marks on them, just something that would show a little bit more of a hewn or sawn effect. But also when we came back here we needed to recreate a lot of those textures. There were various techniques we used to get that texture. One was just standard wire brush. And when you wire brush pine or a lot of different timbers, you end up creating quite a depth in the grain, and the sapwood and the heartwood behaves differently. So you end up with quite an exposed grain. So that really helped. We did that both by hand and a little one we happen to have for the drill. But you could get a big wheel version for an angle grinder, and that would tear through things even quicker. We then use a chisel to gouge out a few little marks in, to kind of give the idea that some of the timber was checked and it had splits in. And then one of the last bits of detail which really helped kind of authenticate them a bit more was where the nail holes were or would be in the timbers from where all the timber laths are fixed onto. When you remove those, they leave a little hole, and quite often in exposed timbers they're left in there, so you see all those little pin marks from the nails. So we actually went along, we measured the distance, went along and recreated that using a little nail punch and an old nail to give that character back into these new timbers. So each length has 4 or 5 screws fixing through, which were countersunk to make sure we could fill over the heads of the screws. I've actually filled with quite a lightweight filler, so that if I ever had to take them down because we wanted to skim or move things around, it's pretty easy. I can run a magnet over, find the screw heads, chip away a bit of that filler and then take them off. We used caulk on the back of the timbers, a bead either side, so that when they were fixed up they'd pull in tight, squeeze out a little bit, fill any slight gaps, and then by using a palette knife and running that up there I could get a nice sharp join corner so it looks like it really does cut straight through the ceiling surface. So we use new timber for the sloped sections of the ceiling. These are pretty inexpensive. Like I said, 3x2 or 63mm timber, and that normally works out about £2 or £2 to £3 per length. So we needed a total of 8 of those per room. And then for the actual tie beam at the top, we used some oversized studs which we reclaimed from when we moved some walls around up here, and those have got really great character. You know, they're over 100 years old, and we decided not to paint them white. We still may whitewash them, but we just wire brush those really well to clean them up, get a bit more of the grain showing, and then we fix those to the other side. Those screwed into the rafters, there's loads of strength there, so if we ever needed to hang anything from them, especially in the office end, I've got that option. Then a simple undercoat primer onto that bare timber, and then we went ahead and when we emulsioned and painted the whole ceiling, we just painted with the same paint over all the timber, and it's given us that continuous whitewash look. So there you go, a simple project that needs a little bit of elbow grease but not much budget, and it's a way of saving you from skimming ceilings or worrying about jointing. So I hope you enjoyed that project. Remember to subscribe to our channel for loads more projects like these, and to follow us through this project of the loft conversion. So thank you again to Henry for helping me out. I will leave a link to his videos and YouTube channel in the description box below, so head over and check out his work. And remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you in the next video.